Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network.
All right, so efficiency tools and tips, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Michael is the master genius behind some of this topic, most of this topic for our team, for other clients, team members. Just helps so many people in making sure that we're not wasting our time. Right, Corey? I mean, the conversations we've always had is our time is our most valuable asset. So it's one thing to make some money. It's another thing to, to get some nice tools going, but we don't want to go in circles and chase our tail when it comes to these tools. We want to use them right. We want to use the right vehicles at the right time in the right way. And I just really appreciate you and your insight and experience and really your experimentation on a lot of this as well, because not only do you train on this, but you also use these tools. I use a few of them as well, and trying to use more and more, just as we all are. But
yep.
Let's jump into it. Anything else you'd like to mention as we rock and roll as a part of Giver Marketing Network? And Corey, you have your own consultancy. I have my own consultancy. Everybody on the training today has their own companies that they're trying to grow, and we just want to welcome everybody. Anything else you'd like to add as we rock and roll here?
Nope. Just if you're ready to save some time, that's what this is all about. And I use 75% of these tools personally. Yeah. So let's start with before we actually get into the tools, we've broken it up into several different categories for everybody. Just to make it a little bit easier, because we are going to go through probably 20 different tools this morning, talk about each one. Most of these are free with paid upgrades. There is one or two that cost a little bit of money, but our goal in the types of tools that we're presenting this morning is to, as I mentioned earlier, help you be more efficient in your time and in your organization and all that, but not cost a whole lot of money in the process. So feel free to take screenshots. You can pop some questions as we go in the chat box. We'll answer them at the end. So let's start with project management and Trello. This is a classic tool in the entrepreneur world. And this is something that we use with Giver Marketing. I use it in my personal business. I've even used it for personal items before as well. But Trello is a great visual project management tool that uses a style of organization called Kanban, Kanban, and basically it uses cards. So you can see in the screenshot there, if you're watching this on a phone or on a computer, you can see the screenshot that there are basically lists, little blocks that can have items like to-do list items essentially. But you can do things like tag members, like other team members. You can leave comments for one another. You can set due dates. You can add checklist items, all within each individual item in those lists. So it's really a great way of tracking projects, and you can move things from, one list could be called to do and one could be called finished or completed or done, whatever your terminology is, and just click and drag it from one to the other, and it's done. It makes tracking things really, really simple. Has some cool automation tricks too, if you're a nerd like I am, and we're going to get real nerdy in a little bit here. But if you're a nerd like I am and like to experiment where you do one thing and something else automatically happens, it has some fun tricks with that. But Trello is a great place if you've never done project management before to get started. Airtable is another project management system that I also use. So I use two, but I use this one a little bit differently. So this is if you are an Excel spreadsheet kind of guy or girl, and you like more grid-based management of information, Airtable is that. It is like Excel or Google Sheets, but just elevated to the next level. You can do again some automation kind of things. You can color coordinate and organize that way. This actually lets you view your information in spreadsheet view. It also has a Kanban view, it has a calendar view, it has a couple other views as well. The reason why I like this one in particular, that's a little bit different than normal projects that I use for collaboration with Trello. Airtable for me is a way to easily track my content management and schedule for my social media. So I have one column that's all the dates that I want to post things. I have one column that is the topics, one column that's the notes or the details, and then I can check them off. That's something that I can't recall if Google Sheets does or anything like that, but Airtable makes it really easy for you to just have a little checkbox and just check it off when you're done so you can keep track. So really great tool. And then if you're ready to graduate to the next level of project management, let's say you've got a good team under you, or you just need a deeper level of project management that also includes a CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool where you can actually keep track of all of your clients, keep notes on everybody, keep track of tasks that you need to do to follow up with them. You can do project management that actually does time tracking as well for yourself if you charge by the hour with the people that you work with, or if you have a team member doing things. Zoho, and actually in particular Zoho One, is their kind of advanced platform that has like 30 different tools built in to really create this powerhouse of a project management system. And this one is not free. This one is like $12 a month, but is really an incredible tool. And we use it with Giver. We've got a good sized team. And it's a really great tool when you're ready to kind of make that next jump.
Yeah, I would say Zoho is one of those suite of services that we started with G Suite, and we still use G Suite for some things, but we've migrated a lot of our just day-to-day activities using Zoho One, and the total cost per license on Zoho One, which is the full suite, is only $30 a month. So it's so reasonable if you want to have kind of this full like email and CRM and project management and subscriptions and all this other stuff. So anyway, I get kind of into it because it offers so much. But if you just want something really simple, we'll talk about some other tools later.
So now we're going into the business essentials, and this is kind of a list of tools that are foundational for a few different reasons, as you'll see as we go through. But if you don't get anything else from today's masterclass, pay attention to these tools that we're about to go over with you. Tim, you love this particular tool. Why don't you talk about this one?
So this tool is really to help your business be found better and more quickly online. It's the foundation for organic and on-page and just basic SEO, okay? So search engine optimization is a fancy term for, can you find me? Like, find me online, and this is how we do it. So you want to run this visibility scan that I just put in the chat box, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting some extra goodies because you're here live, but if you see the screen there and you want to screenshot it, you can always go and do that later. But listen, if almost 9 out of 10 people are trying to go online and check you out before making a buying decision, A, you better look good, and B, you better be found in multiple places so that you don't look like a brand new business. And so that's what this visibility tool is for. And we have somebody on the team, her name is Vicky, Visibility Vicky, we call her, who will walk you through how to implement and make changes if you need that help. But here's a free tool for you to kind of get started, and your whole goal is to get a 0% error rate on all these dozens of directories. And so it's the opposite of of what you would normally see on a tool like this, where you're trying to get to 100%. No. We're trying to correct the errors. So we want a 0% error rate. Now, I won't go all into it too deep today, but if you have any questions about how to be more visible and how to make sure that you're listed properly online so you don't get penalized by Google, this is literally our homework assignment when we're charging people for our coaching and working with our team members. This is literally the homework assignment that needs to happen before they can move on to anything else. Okay?
Yes. All right. Now, okay, so in today's world, I don't know about you, but I hate back and forth. What time works for you? What time works for you when trying to figure out times for meeting with somebody, whether it's in person or via Zoom, right? Calendly and another one called Book Like a Boss are amazing tools for taking back your time and staying organized, not needing to worry about double booking yourself. Because Calendly actually is a tool that you can send. Many of you are probably familiar that you can send a link to somebody and they can schedule a time with you based on what works with your calendar and works with their schedule. But you can hook it up to your calendar, to your personal calendar, to your work calendar, whatever it is, and block off whatever you have blocked off on your calendar. Calendly and Book Like a Boss will automatically block off that time so people can't choose it when they're scheduling a time with you. So it keeps you from having that double booking. But then also, if somebody ever wants to meet you, to say, hey, would you mind just finding a time that works with your schedule? Here's my link. And then that puts it on them. You don't have to keep initiating, trying to figure it out and play tag, calendar tag back and forth. This tool has it's 100% free with paid options. But this tool has literally saved me in the last little over a year since I've been using this. It's saved me hundreds of hours easily of back and forth and trying to figure things out. And it is an amazing tool.
And it makes it easy to reschedule, right, Corey? So, like, how many times do we book something real quickly and realize, oh, I can't meet that time? Well, there's usually just a little link or a little message or something you can send with these schedulers nowadays.
Yep.
That you can just reschedule quickly. Here's the warning. Make sure that the scheduler you use reads different time zones. Both Calendly, Book Like a Boss, and we have a kind of we have an account with Book Like a Boss, so we can offer that at a discounted rate to you. But listen, make sure whatever scheduler you use, not that I did this, not that I made this mistake.
Not at all.
But some of these calendars are meant for like local businesses who have one time zone. And so the time zones that are booked are just all confused if you're working nationally or internationally. Okay. Calendly and Book Like a Boss are fine. They read the time zones of the device that's being used. So you're 99.9% of the time you're booked exactly at the right time, calling each other at the right time. Okay. If you need any help on that, talk to Corey, and we'll have a link for you to schedule an appointment with him if you'd like to learn more about these kind of tools. Okay. Corey, you want me to speak to this, or have you been having fun with this, or tell me a little bit more?
I haven't used Otter at all yet, so this is all you, man.
All right, so Otter, I was working with a client, and we had international team members, literally like team members from like 4 different continents or something. Like, it was crazy, right? We had all these different, like, English as second language, and trying to figure out how to work on projects together. And finally, when the client was like, hey, why don't we use Otter and record some of our instructions and our meetings and different things so it could be transcribed. And if we can transcribe it, then everybody's going to be on the same page. We can pop it into a Trello board or into some other document or Google Doc or something to keep track of all of our conversations. And so we started doing that, and I realized, holy smokes, this is a free tool up to a certain amount of hours, and you can have any meeting that you're in, including Zoom, transcribed at no cost, and it's one of the best transcriptions I've ever seen. Like, you could use it as a voice memo, you could use it as a team tool, whatever you want to do.
Calls.
Say that one more time, Corey.
Phone calls.
Phone calls. It integrates now into so many different platforms and ways of doing things that I'm almost surprised I didn't come across it earlier. This is an amazing tool for transcribing your voice in some way, shape, or form, and you get both the transcription and the audio file by the time you're done. And it's super integrated into a bunch of other stuff. So, and we're on Zoom right now, Corey. So all I can say is Zoom is doing a great job. They haven't failed us too many times yet. They've created a little bit of
they're growing. They're always changing and growing. Yeah. Pre-COVID, they were around 2 million users per day. And when everything started happening, they jumped up to 100 million users per day. So there's some growing pains, but Zoom is an incredible tool for staying connected. There's a number of them out there, right? There's Microsoft Teams, there's Google Meetup, there's Facebook has their own version now called Messenger for Rooms. But Zoom is our choice, but there's a number of them out there. So feel free to experiment and have fun. They all have kind of different features that are pretty cool, but this is what we like.
Corey and I are going to start experimenting with the kind of the meeting rooms or the breakout rooms in Zoom at some point. And I've been on some trainings where they break out into different rooms, and you can't really see each other unless you're in the room with that particular person. Then you come back to the main room. So as we look at having larger trainings, national trainings with just a lot more individuals at one time, we can break out and have little just more not private, but little smaller meetings within a larger meeting. Yeah, kind of like the focus group idea. Exactly, Corey. Awesome. So we look forward to that, and some of these other like password management tools are pretty straightforward. Corey, do you want to just rip right through these and I can go on?
So there should never be a time now where you have the same password for multiple things. Cybersecurity and cybercrime, those topics are very relevant right now. Again, prior to COVID, it was already a problem, but ever since, cybercrime has increased fourfold, which is a lot, which means that a lot of people are getting hacked. A lot of people's information are getting exposed online in various platforms that are getting compromised. Even Zoom was having an issue, not Zoom itself, but there was a third party out there that was claiming to be Zoom, where people would go and try to download Zoom that wasn't from their site directly, and then they'd get an email within 24 hours. It had the app. They downloaded the app, but it was doing some weird stuff, and they'd get an email within 24 hours saying, we have your password, we have all this stuff on you, and it's like freaking people out. So LastPass is a password manager that will keep track of all of your passwords. 1Password is another one, Dashlane is another one. Now LastPass will keep track of all your passwords securely, and it's all behind 1Password. All you ever need to worry about ever again is 1Password that lets you get into the LastPass platform, which is on every kind of device that you can think of. And it will even integrate with your internet browsers, so that way when you're logging in, you just click on the little LastPass button and it'll auto-populate your username and password in there, and it generates passwords for you as well. So strong passwords, not like let me in 123, which, believe it or not, is one of the most popular passwords in the entire country. And Star Wars and a few other funny ones that, are out there that are really easy to hack. But LastPass lets you manage all of that really, really easily. So
I would also say this about this.
The love of God in the country, download this app.
Yeah, download this app for sure. And something else to consider too is, how much is your time worth? I mean, if I change a device or I move from my phone to a tablet or to a laptop, do I really want to spend 20 minutes trying to get into whatever important account that I have to accomplish whatever I'm trying to accomplish, whether it's financial or social media or just tools that I'm using all the time, that it just gets really frustrating. So not only does it throw me off my game when I can't get into a tool or an app or a platform of some kind, but the time spent just alone trying to do that, I would definitely grab LastPass. So you can do what Corey was talking about there. Corey, sending out invoices and kind of keeping track of some of this other. We all have to be able to generate revenue in our companies, right? I mean, what an easier way to do that than using a tool like Wave.
Yep. Wave is a free invoicing app that, like Tim mentioned, and is great for entrepreneurs that are trying to keep their billing straight, because it's not just invoicing. It actually will let you collect payments from people. You can send recurring invoices. You can send one-time invoices. You can create buttons that you can put on your website for people to click to buy a service from you. It takes a small percentage, as all payment gateways do, but it's a really great tool, has a lot of different options. And something that they just added like 2 days ago, Tim, is that they have now created their own online bank system as well that is all integrated directly within it. So you could not only bank through Wave, but you can also then, because it has the accounting side of it built in, it's all very easy to keep track of business expenses, income, everything all in one place. It's a really, really cool thing that I'm actually considering for myself, because it's such a great tool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's on PayPal, let's step up our game and migrate over to Wave at the very least. It's a free tool. It looks better. It acts better. It integrates better. And it'll generate less frustration and more money for you, okay?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Client management and engagement. Ooh, Corey, this little platform called HubSpot.
A little tiny one.
Come on now. Tell me, what brought you to HubSpot, and why are we using it so much?
So this little section that we're going to be talking about it's about client management. So I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Zoho as project management that it had a CRM built in as well, customer or client relationship management. Now we're going to focus a little bit more on this. So HubSpot is another CRM that's out there that is free. It is free forever, 100%. They have some paid other things you can do, but their CRM is free. And what you can do is keep track of all your contacts. You can keep track of notes, tasks you need to do. You can email your contacts directly from there. You can call people directly from it. It has a Google Chrome integration where if you're logging into Gmail, it'll keep track of all of your emails activity. And it'll link it to your contacts, so you can go into a contact, see all of your email activity, which is really handy. But then what I love about HubSpot and why I use it is because it has a lot of automation built in. So if somebody schedules an appointment with me via Calendly, I have a tool called Zapier, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, that will take the information from Calendly and put it automatically into HubSpot for me with that person's name, email, phone number, or whatever else that I want to add. Wave, with my invoicing software, if somebody pays me via Wave, it will update that contact's information in HubSpot automatically. If they paid me before, it'll reflect that they've paid me in that activity. Or if it's a new contact that's not in my HubSpot for some reason, it will add them to HubSpot for me and just and create that new contact record. So it's a really flexible tool. It's easy to use. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but they have a whole tutorial to walk you through before you even get to use it for the first time. Because then once you get it, it makes your client organizational life so much better. To be able to stay efficient and stay on top of things. So HubSpot, it's free. Check it out. I would love to talk with anybody that wants to know more about that, but it's a great way to get started in this.
I want to pause right here, Corey.
Sure.
Just give everybody permission to take a deep breath And
Yep.
you know what? You know where I'm going with this because we get these questions all the time. Listen, you need to grab maybe one or two of these tools today and dive in. Don't feel like you have to earn your gold stars and grab 5 or 6 or 7 of these tools. We want to help you save some time, and in the end, a little bit of work on the front end will save you massive amounts of time, make you way more money, and help you build a legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
HubSpot is one of those tools, and there's some others here too that we mentioned that if you want to look professional, feel professional, and have an asset that is working for you, eventually you want your company working for you and you not just slaving over the company. You want to kind of have this in an organized system. And really the difference between a job you've created for yourself and a business is the systems. And HubSpot is one of those, customer relational management systems that you need to consider. Okay? So grab one of these tools at least, and let's rock and roll today, all right? Facebook Messenger. Corey,
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about this for an hour alone. I mean, there's bots, there's just regular messaging through the platform just to kind of generate conversations. I mean, there's so many different ways to use Messenger. Tell us something we don't know about Messenger.
Well, I mean, that's subjective because there may be people on here that don't know anything about it. So I will just give a quick overview. Facebook Messenger is built into every single Facebook business page, and it has the ability to not only let people connect with you, which is really important because a lot of people these days are actually going online to social media platforms before they even check out a website, especially a certain kind of age demographic, right? Like a millennial and below. Or a millennial and younger, that Gen Z, people are looking for information, and they may have a question like, "What are your hours?" or "Where can I find you?" Things like that. So people can send messages to you. When you respond, it actually shows on your business page your how quickly you respond, and what percentage of messages that you actually respond to. That's something you can turn on and off, but that's kind of a cool way to show potential clients and customers that you are active and that you are listening and talking and communicating. But then you can even set up Facebook Messenger. Tim mentioned bots. There are some third-party tools out there that will let you create full-blown AI-powered bots to interact with people as a sales platform or as a marketing platform, different things. But Facebook itself has a little feature built in where you can answer some basic questions that you don't. So then you don't have to be the one to answer every single time somebody asks what your hours are or where you're located. It can actually tell people directly, and that is free. It's within the settings of the Facebook business page. I really encourage you to go and explore that a little bit because it is increasingly one of the best ways to connect with your customers on Facebook Messenger, right? So there's a number of different tools out there and social media platforms, obviously, but definitely check this out and begin thinking about using it if you're not already. Bonjoro, man, this is a tool that I freaking love. And I say it that strongly because it has changed the way that I do business in a lot of ways. So I'm super personal and personable. I like to think I'm an extrovert. I love to connect with people. But this is good for introverted people too, because it's a way to connect with people with video without the pressure of having to make like this professionally produced video. You can actually think of it like texting your customers and clients, but in video form. So here's how you use it. So you can use it to send a message to new followers on any of your social platforms if you have their email information. If somebody comments on one of your, or if somebody sends a message to your Facebook Messenger, you can get that information into Bonjoro. It would send it into there via Zapier and say, "Hey, so-and-so is interacting with you. Do you want to send them a message?" You open up this little task on Bonjoro, and then you can send them a video right there, just record right directly within the Bonjoro app and say, "Hey, Tim, I just saw that you sent me a message on Facebook, or I see that you followed me on Instagram or whatever it is. And I really appreciate it. I'd love to connect with you sometime. Let me know. Boom, you're done. And you send it to them. And it's this personalized video that these people are getting from the business owner. Like, it is a crazy, powerful way to build rapport and trust and likability with your clients, because they think they get this little message that says, About Town Deb has sent you a little message, and you open it up and it's this personalized video. And that's really where the power of it is. You personalize it with their name and, something about them. It really makes people feel special and like you're connecting with them. So this is kind of a nurturing tool, which Tim and I talk about in our blueprint. But this is a great thing to just play around with. You can either have information automatically put into Bonjoro for you from the various places that you collect information from people, or you can just send, type in an email and send a video that way. It's really, really cool little app that they have a web version, so you can use your webcam. They have phone, tablet, etc. It's definitely check it out. All right, I keep referencing it. Automation. It's time to nerd out a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. The first tool, first let me tell you why automation is important. If you ever find yourself thinking, I wish there was a quicker way to do this, or I wish I didn't have to take so many steps to make this happen, or I wish that when I get data here, I could also put it over here automatically. That is what automation is about. It is about simplifying processes, making it shorter, making it automated, right? So that you're not doing as much manual work, saving you hours and hours and hours of time. So the two different applications that we're going to be talking about. The first is called IFTTT. It is a free app for your phone, both iOS and Android. They have a web version as well that you can build these things, but they're little apps that you're building essentially for automating tasks. So, for example, Tim, why don't you give a couple of the examples that you use IFTTT for, just to show people what this thing can do?
So when I make a phone call, every phone call is logged into a separate spreadsheet just in case my CRM doesn't pick it up. And so there's some stuff that we don't necessarily, I guess, need, but gosh darn it, if I ever needed to go back and look at all the phone calls coming in. I mean, I've used it for other just tasks that I wish I could do manually, but I just can't when it comes to any kind of app or task that would be app related.
Yep. So that is a good little example. Another example would be maybe you like to blog and you write articles and different things. And one of the ways that this could be a benefit to you is if you use some kind of platform like Evernote, which is a digital note-taking platform, you could write a note in Evernote that you intend to be a blog post, but you want to kind of make sure it's formatted right and has all the right verbiage and whatever you need to do, it's edited. You can do all of that in Evernote, but have it automatically put into your website platform as a blog draft for you to go review and then actually publish it. So IFTTT can look at Evernote, look for a specific type of note, and then automatically put it into this other place for you. That's another example. One of the ways that I use it for my business as well is I like to read. I like to listen to audiobooks, and on Google Sheets, I have I have a sheet that keeps track of books that I've read or want to read, and the name of the book and the author. I have IFTTT watch for a list that I have on my phone in my reminders. Whenever I'm like, okay, I need to read this book, I'll put it into a specific reminder list, and IFTTT will take that information and put it into Google Sheets automatically for me. And the reason why that, rather than just doing it through Google Sheets personally, is because the Google Sheets app is awful, unfortunately. And so rather than mess with Google and try to do the little cell and whatever, I just write a reminder to myself in a specific list, and IFTTT takes care of it for me automatically. It is a great little tool that's free to try and play around with. So definitely start there if you're looking into the possibilities. They've got a bunch of pre-made automations for you to play around with as well. Super easy to use. Zapier is kind of the next level. There's no mobile app for this. This is all web-based, but this is purely like taking information from one place and putting it into another place. So
it solves the double entry problem and the double path problem, right?
Example. So when I have somebody, I use these examples already. When somebody sets an appointment with me via Calendly, Zapier will take that information from Calendly and put it into HubSpot. Zapier for me will also take information from Wave when somebody pays me and puts their information into HubSpot. I have it so that I have a contact form on my website. When somebody emails me a contact form, not only will it email me the contact form directly, but it will put their information into HubSpot for me. I have a client that I just did something with Zapier with, where on their website, they're a barber, and they wanted to create a wait list for people as we kind of enter back into the, opening up the economy again and everything. And so people will send a message to, or a contact form, and it puts it into a Google Sheet for her automatically in order of people, because it's first come, first serve. It will put it in order for her. There, you could have it so if you're running a Facebook ad for something, for whatever it is, right, product or a service, if somebody engages with that Facebook ad, Zapier can take that information and put it into your MailChimp account for sending out email campaigns. So that way you are able to collect that information and then be able to market to them. So Zapier has a ton of different applications that you can, ways that you can apply an automation, and you get 5 free zaps for free, or 5 zaps for free on the free version of the account. You can pay to upgrade and get more than that, but most people starting off don't need more than 5. But it has over 1,500 different apps and services out there that you can connect together in wild ways.
Almost all the tools we've mentioned previously, just about all of them, not all of them, but most of them can be integrated with Zapier in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
I would say if you're going to start with one, Corey, you mentioned it already. If somebody books an appointment with you on a scheduler, any scheduler that you can think of is probably connected to Zapier, make sure that information gets over to some way of tracking who's booking appointments with you.
Even if it's a Google Sheet at first, and
even a Google Sheet. Yep. Any way to track that. If somebody books an appointment with you, they are serious about connecting with you either on a business or professional level. So, or business or personal level. So, bottom line is that's your homework assignment number 1 if you want to play around with Zapier. Okay. So, Corey, let's rip through some of these and get to some questions and answers, brother.
Yeah, Evernote, I mentioned earlier, is a digital note-taking platform. If you like to take notes, but hate the mess of a bunch of notebooks everywhere, this is your solution. There's a number of them out there. Evernote is one that I use. I've been playing around with another one called Notion. But this is a great way to create basically digital notebooks with of different topics, and then keep notes on. You could have one notebook specifically for clients and keep track of some notes on that way. That is a little bit more than maybe a CRM would handle. Or maybe one notebook would be for keeping track of business expenses. Evernote can actually, you can use the camera to take pictures of receipts and put it into Evernote in its own little notebook. That's a great way of keeping track of that kind of stuff.
Brilliant.
Personal items as well. I highly recommend getting into some kind of digital note-taking platform. So the next section is content management and creation, specifically for social media. Crowdfire is one that we currently use for Giver, and a number of people do. And we're actually transitioning into another one that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But Crowdfire is a social media scheduler. So if you find yourself getting flustered at, oh man, I got to post something today, or I got to post something this week, and you're not really sure when you're going to be able to find the time, Crowdfire will let you sit down take a couple hours or 20 minutes or whatever it is and schedule something in advance so you don't have to think about it. So it just does it. And you can post to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and a couple other platforms that will let you just have that peace of mind that you're getting your content out there, which is so important for social media marketing strategy. Crowdfire does have limitations in its free version. It has some paid version that can be pretty pricey to be able to post as much as you want and on as many platforms as you want. But it's a great place to start because it has a free version option for up to 10 posts. And Tim, I did verify it is just 10 posts. I looked at that the other day.
Good.
Cloud Campaign is the one that we are transitioning into as Giver Marketing. And this is something that I use personally because Cloud Campaign is when you're ready to step up your social media marketing strategy and use some AI, use some features that will auto schedule posts for you based on when people are actually interacting with your page. You can post to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google My Business, Instagram, and YouTube all at the same time. You can post as many as you want and as many posts as you want on multiple Facebook platforms. Like let's say you are a restaurant, for example, and you have multiple locations. You could post all 3, location Facebook pages if you wanted to, all at the same time, and Instagram and everything. So it's really powerful. It has a tool built in called Canva, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, which is an online graphic design editing tool that lets you create your own little post and import it directly into Cloud Campaign. This really is for when you're ready to step up. But even solopreneurs can use this. This isn't just like for teams. This is for people that are just like ready to take it to the next level. If you are interested in something like this, feel free to talk to me. There is a cost to it that you can get. It's better to go through us on this. We get a special deal on it to be as a reseller. So definitely let us know if you want to be up in your social media game in that.
MailChimp is one of those tools that if you have 2,000 contacts or less, it is a no-brainer. And there's other ones like Constant Contact and some other emailing platforms, but sometimes they don't look quite right on the mobile device, especially if you're sending it out through just like Google or like Gmail or Yahoo or just a regular mail platform. You want to definitely look into MailChimp for those who have less than 2,000 contacts. There's other platforms that will also help you look professional if you have more than 2,000 contacts for a lot less cost. Contact us if you have any questions about email campaigns. We're definitely more interested in using email as a value add, not as a pitching mechanism. So we want to encourage you to use email just to add value to your audience. Corey, you mentioned Canva. What would you say about Canva?
Yeah, so Canva is that online graphic design creator, and this is a great way if you're just starting out. You don't really have a budget to be able to hire somebody quite yet to make graphics for you. This is a great free way to create nice looking infographics and promotional items and quotes and all sorts of things on their free version that you can use for social media. You can pay to upgrade so you can print things out, have things at higher resolution. So like you can create flyers and brochures, and I mean, you can really go wild with all this. But this is a great way, and they have an app on your phone. You can do it online. This is a great way to begin looking more visually appealing in your social media game. So this is a great tool to definitely check out really quickly if you're doing any kind of social media right now. Definitely check it out.
And if you're having trouble finding the right images, we're going to talk about finding high quality images, but you might want to just jump over to Unsplash to kind of partner with tools like this in order to grab really unique, interesting, and fun images that are high quality.
Royalty free, meaning you won't get copyright violations or anything like that. That's the value of Unsplash.
Correct. Tenai, hey, if we want to find higher resolution versions of an image that we already love, check out TinEye. We don't have time to talk about it too much today. Or Google Images. You can just search Google Images as well. You just got to be careful about the royalty issue. And that's really up to you, ladies and gentlemen, your big boys and girls, to figure out what is actually legal to use and what is not. I would Google has a feature where you click on for usage rights, and you have to modify certain ones in order to actually use them, and others are just not able to be used. So just be very careful with that. But TinEye is great if you found an image that you already know is royalty free. It's a smaller image. It's not high resolution, or it has some language on it you don't really want to use in a meme or something. You can always find the original image on TinEye. Okay. Dropbox, file storage. If you haven't used file storage in the cloud, then it's time to get safe because and be more secure with your documents and important information and images and videos and all these different things. There's a certain amount of storage you can have for free. So quite frankly, with how many devices we change on a every couple year or two, it's good to have a lot of these important documents in the cloud, and they're way safer than having them on some device somewhere that somebody can grab and get from you. Corey, what would you recommend using Answer the Public for?
Yeah, so we're still in the vein of content management for social media, but and actually I'm not sure how Dropbox got lumped into this. Oh, I remember, but it doesn't matter. I'll talk about it later. Answer the Public is a great tool for figuring out the kind of content that you can be posting on social media. So if you're like, man, I just don't know what to talk about, I don't know what is relevant to people, Answer the Public is basically a search engine for searches. So it will actually take, so if you type in a keyword like money, for example, and you type it into their little search bar, what it'll do is it will find real life Google searches and pull them into this amoeba looking thing that are actual topics and searches that people are looking for related to whatever your keyword is. So it gives you dozens and dozens and dozens of ideas, like why should I, or how do I, or what is the best, or like it literally gives you these dozens of ideas that real people are asking on Google about whatever your keyword topic. And you can get really like specific, like dog walking big dogs. Okay, that's like a really random example, but if you type that in, it'll give you a whole bunch of questions that people are asking around that topic. So this is a great way to know, because if somebody is typing it in Google search, you know that it's probably relevant to a lot of people. People want to know these kinds of things. So this is a great way to begin developing your social media calendar of ideas for things to post. So it's a free tool. And it's really, really great.
Awesome. Thank you for the time today and being able to connect.